Well, Miles, we're 2 days out from what was a special night for everyone concerned with Bolton Wanderers women in securing the Challenge Cup in such a special way. Just can you sum that up now? You've had time to reflect. Obviously, we got you on camera immediately after full time, and you were speaking of your pride. Is that, I'm guessing that's still the same?
Yeah, of course it is. It was a special night, as you said. It was a really special evening for everybody involved. Obviously, the players first and foremost, the staff that are involved day to day, and then the wider club, the community in this town, the fans that were there, the fans that weren't there. And just Bolton as a whole, the town, the community, and everybody involved in that. But it was a special night. But our focus quickly has to turn to the next game, because it's coming now. And
just to touch on the game itself, you talked about that you didn't think you were in full flow, and you still managed to score 5. And Nish obviously misses the penalty as well. That could have been 6. So there's a lot of things and positives to take as well. Although you think there's still more you could probably get to ahead of the weekend.
Of course, and I think it's certainly not wanting to sound negative at all. I think the group fought really hard. We said to them before the game that when you put your tops in the middle of the room at the end of this game, you want to make sure you've given everything, whether we bring the trophy back in or whether we don't, into the changing room. You've given everything in that shirt like you do every week, and they definitely did that. Every single player gave every ounce of energy they had for that shirt. And listen, the performance was definitely a good one. It wasn't a bad performance at all. It was a strong performance. We weren't at our best for periods of the game, but then there were some periods at the game that we were great. So it was one of those games, but that's understandable at a final. I don't think you're never going to be at your best with the final, of the occasion of what it brings, and the 1,000 fans that were there, and a team like Accrington that need to be well respected. It's a difficult challenge for anybody stepping in, and that's why finals are often cagey affairs when you watch them. But to get the result we did in the manner that we did, it was really pleasing.
And the reaction we've seen in the ground on the night with supporters and families and the players, as well as online by the wider Bolton community, it just emphasises what we are building, and people are taking notice and wanting to get involved almost.
Yeah, the reaction has been absolutely superb. The amount of people that were there and young faces that we saw, young girls, young boys that were there, that they're the next generation, that we're trying to inspire, that to kick on and play football and being involved in football, and to see some of those faces was unbelievable. The mascots, when I saw the mascots walk out with the players, their faces, they were just the biggest smiles on their face, and that's what it's all about, especially in women's football. You have a duty to try and promote the game and bring through the next generation of players and grow participation, and nights like that certainly helps. The players that we have in this team now, we say to them all the time, they're role models. Their role models are on the stage now. They have a lot of people looking at them, and a lot of people who will aspire to be them, and everything that this group of players do is a little bit of history for this club, and the night was a big part of that.
So now the line has been drawn. Obviously that game has been done. Obviously the celebrations have happened. So we're talking a day away from the game on Sunday. How does it look now? Have you done anything different, obviously, with the short turnaround?
Yeah, it's a quick turnaround for sure. We let the players have yesterday to themselves. And they're back in today. We'll be back on the training pitch with them today. There's a few things that we just want to tidy up on, a few things that we've seen, and a few things that we want to tweak. But listen, when it's such a quick turnaround time, there's not a huge amount of work you can do. You have to just try and get the players fresh. Ash has done an unbelievable job in getting these players as fresh as he possibly can, not just this week but all season, and keeping them fit as well. So look, we're trying to get the players as fresh as we can, but there will be a few tweaks come the training pitch in a few hours' time. And
the unusual situation of playing the same team twice in the space of 3 days, does that throw a spanner in? Can you take anything from a game that was just 2 days ago? Is that a question you can even consider?
Yeah, I think both teams can. It's one of those where you've played a team just recently. You almost show your cards, don't you, a little bit? And we've got a better picture of Aki now, and they've got a better picture of us. But that's not to say that both teams can't make changes and adjustments and tweaks. So players always have to be ready for things to change on the day. You certainly can't think it's going to be a copy and paste model from Aki. I'm sure they'll make adjustments and changes, as will we, whether that's in personnel, whether that's in tweaks, tactically, whatever that may be. But look, it's the same for both teams. Both teams are in exactly the same position. So once again, we just have to give everything we can, and that's all we can ask. And that's what these players have done all season. If the result goes our way, then fantastic.
And with what's at stake for your team, knowing a victory will seal the title, is that difficult for a manager to manage, or is it almost disregard what happened on Thursday and almost just take this game as it comes and realise nothing's done yet?
I think it depends on what group you've got. And I think what this group has done is, over the course of the season, they've shown that when they need to dial in and focus, and then they know the job that they have to do, they're very good at doing that. We saw that on Thursday. We've seen that in previous games, and I've got no doubt about this group that we'll see that again at the weekend. I think the group know that despite the celebrations on Thursday and the cup that we've won, they know that the main focus is on promotion. They know that we want to win this league, and they know that we haven't won this league just yet. We've reminded the group that although we've brought one trophy to the club, we've still not achieved what we set out to achieve right at the start of the season. And there's two more games potentially to make sure we have to tick off to do that. So I'm fully expecting and confident in the group that they're dialed in, they're focused, and they'll do as much as they can to try and get that job done. And
just to round it off, it's now been announced on Friday that the game is now going to take place at Victory Park in Chorley. Just talk us through that, and just obviously thanking the relevant people involved for making that happen.
Yeah, of course, that's really important. Look, as we know, we brought a trophy home the other day. We're in a very good position to win this league title. There's many people that have contributed to the position this women's team are in, and a big part of that is the people down at Accrington Collieries. They've given us a home this year. They've supported this women's team absolutely incredibly from day one. They've welcomed us in with open arms. Paul and all of his staff that are there, all of the things they do for us, how welcome they've made us feel, how supportive they've been of this women's team, is certainly not gone unnoticed, and we owe them a massive, massive thank you for that. I know, on behalf of the whole of the women's team and the club, our appreciation is huge, and they're a fantastic club themselves, a great club. But the game will be at Victory Park this Sunday, and we're hoping that we can get a big attendance there. We're hoping to come and the fans to come and support the players in the hopefully what is the final game of the season to get this league title done.